Hello, ladies and gentlemen. The day you become a manager. What a pivotal moment. A pivotal moment full of responsibilities, not only towards your organizational goals, but more importantly, towards the people who are contributing to these goals. Today, in this episode, we will talk about this day, the day you become a manager. We spend 30 to 40, maybe 50 years of our lives at work. During such a period, it's almost certain that we meet at least one bad boss or bad manager. From my experience, I can strongly claim that during such a period, we can meet multiple bad managers. 12 years ago, there was one study in one American institute showing that actually surprising results that 60% of American workers in that institutes were not happy with their jobs. They were not satisfied with their jobs. And when they asked them why, they didn't say that it was because of low pay. They didn't say that it was because of insufficient vacation or poor workplace. They attributed the unsatisfaction to bad management. So 60% of American workers 12 years ago were unhappy because of a bad manager. Another study last year, 2023, showed that 61% of workers are either seeking a new job or planning to seek another job. That is to say that inefficient management or ineffective management is not rare. Unfortunately, it is common. And during our career or years we spent at work, it's almost inevitable that we meet bad managers. And that this is one of the main causes people are not happy with their jobs. A British author and a motivational speaker called Marcus Buckingham once said that people they don't leave bad jobs, they leave bad managers. And I totally agree with this opinion. So the big question, why so many people are not satisfied with their managers? Why so many people wants to leave their jobs because of a bad boss? Why? In my opinion, there are four main reasons for that. The role misunderstanding, leadership style misalignment, generational gap between the manager and his or her team, and finally, lack of training. So let me start by role misunderstanding. The day you become a manager, your job changes totally, significantly. When you were an individual contributor, let's say MSL, medical manager, medical advisor, your performance was measured easily by the work you do. But now, when you become a manager, your performance is measured by the work they do, your team. Before being a manager, it was all about you. You were in a world centered around yourself. But now it's all about them, your team. Before, it was what you were doing. Now it's what they are doing. It was your performance. Now it's their performance. It was what you need. Now it's what they need. Significant change. So all of a sudden, it's not about you. It's about the work they are doing. The next reason I think contributes also to why people are unhappy with their jobs, attributing this to poor management, is the misalignment in regards to the leadership styles. So the employees, they prefer probably the servant leadership style, the manager who serves them all the time and focuses on their needs. However, it might be easier for the manager to adopt by default the autocratic leadership style. And this is just an example. So the manager wants to give orders, use authority, while the employees are expecting something different. And this misalignment is a cause of unhappiness or unsatisfaction or even low team dynamics. So the new manager, while he or she may prefer the autocratic leadership approach because it is easier, they need to understand that this approach can make the people work for you, definitely, but it will not result in top performance. You cannot achieve top performance in your team with one leadership style. Managers and the new managers in particular needs to learn leadership styles, when and how to use them, and how, and this is very important, to navigate between different leadership styles according to the environment and according to the circumstances. So leadership style misalignment is important, and the managers need to understand exactly that autocratic leadership style can make people obey, but they will not give their best. In the school, we learn a hierarchical model that is based on authority. I am the teacher, I give the grades, and you have to do your homework. Well, you cannot treat adults this way in a business environment. You cannot ask people to give their best by authority alone or by using your title or position. People will give their best when you convince them, when you inspire them, when you care for them. Then they can give their best and they will love to give their best, but not by authority and using your position alone. The third reason, in my opinion, is the generational gap. The differences in communication styles, the differences in values, the differences in probably education can contribute to a big gap between the manager and his or her team. Let's take an example of as of today. We are hiring a new generation that was exposed to social media, was exposed to advanced technology, and the hiring managers for this new generation were graduated in their 80s or 90s. So there is at least a decade gap between the hiring manager and the new generation. So this gap or this generational divide must be breached, and it needs efforts from both sides. Managers need to adapt their communication and leadership styles to meet the diverse expectations of their team members, promoting an inclusive and understanding work environment. And the team needs to speak up, needs to share ideas, solutions, and make efforts to make their voice heard. The fourth reason why many people are not satisfied with their managers, I think, is lack of training. And let me spend some time at this point because I think this is the most important point that we need to understand and realize. The day we become managers, we realize that we are not prepared for this job because simply we were not educated to be managers. We didn't receive any formal training how to manage others. Nobody told us how to create a high performing culture. Nobody told us how to increase productivity in the team. We didn't learn in school or even in the university the different leadership styles and how to influence others in order to love their work and love to give their best. So some managers, the day they become managers, they realize that they are not totally prepared. There was no class on leadership. No one told them how to build a high performance culture. No one told them how to pick the right candidate for the job. No one told them how to fire someone with decency. No one told them how to increase the productivity and enhance team dynamics. So they realized that they are not really prepared. Even for simple managerial tasks like giving feedback, we didn't learn in school how to give feedback to the person without demolishing them, how to give feedback in a way to help others. We didn't learn this in school. So, what happens when you start a job and then suddenly you realize that you're not prepared for this job? One of the most common reactions is fear. And fear in a manager is a recipe for a disaster because you will start seeing threats rather than seeing opportunities. And then you will find yourself wanting to protect everything you have achieved and getting rid of everything that may influence or threat you. So, fear in a manager is a disaster. Thank you, everyone, for your attention. I hope it was beneficial. See you soon.